Hey everybody, it is Leah and we have a special day today. We're going behind the scenes of Speaker Life. I'm with my AV director, Jason Sievert today, and we recently went down a rabbit hole you might not have heard of. What is interest media? And we're going to be talking about that. Hey Jason, this is so fun. I love it when we pull back the curtain and bring in our viewing audience.
Well, thanks for having me again.
So Jason, you sent me a text message and a video of Gary Vee about interest media. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yes, of course. So, of course, many people quote Gary Vee. He's one of the foremost authorities in speaking in social media. And so I don't want to just repeat him because everyone else is, but he used a phrase that connected to something I learned many, many, many years ago. So he used a phrase called interest media. And the way he set it up was social media is dead. Interest media is here to stay.
And that's so true. You and I both come from traditional media backgrounds. And remember how things were really scripted out? They were thought out. I mean, there was a whole story and plot line before the cameras ever rolled. And let's face it, content creators just don't do that today.
100%. And likely one of the reasons Gary Vee said those words was while social media is very entertaining, there's a little fatigue. Everyone's doing the same thing and algorithms continuously change. And suddenly it becomes about what do I do for the algorithm? And you've lost the authentic storytelling content. And so when you said what you did about interest media, thinking about my past, I know you can relate to this.
I can totally relate to
As
this.
a traditional media creator, you start with a story. And so a good story will always connect to your audience in a very authentic way, which plays into nowadays, that's what people are looking for. They don't want solely to be entertained. They don't want just to watch something exaggerative. If they're going to learn, if it's a learning audience, they want that real story and real content.
Well, and I think this is why it's so perfect on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is long content, long form content. And I think so many people are looking to create that quick hit, that instant reel. And while it's great and it's attention grabbing, it's not intentional.
Right. 100%. And just to augment that comment a little bit, YouTube obviously is part of a social media channel. It could be put into that category. But what's more valuable, obviously, is it's a channel that you go to learn. And so that's a different type of audience that wants to be entertained versus learn. And so a learning audience is going to consume content that's longer. So if you're an authentic interest media builder, YouTube definitely is a place you want to house your content.
Well, a lot of creators, myself included, up until recently, we know our topics, so we jump in. But when I started really studying this, not only is interest media interest, but it's also intentional. So the questions, are these questions people are they searching for? Are the things that you're asking or the things that you're telling, are people looking for it? I mean, what good is creating content if nobody's going to watch it?
100%. I heard it once said that especially somebody trying to become a professional speaker, you really shouldn't do that unless you have something to say.
That was Robert Kiyosaki. I remember that episode.
Yeah. And on top of that, having something to say isn't something people want to hear. So as a story creator, you could have the best story out there, but if nobody cares about it, why are you putting in the time and the effort? So it does require some tactical knowledge of what are people searching for? Is this information in demand? And one of the things we've kind of discovered in the rabbit hole is there's not really a good place to learn. How do I start to become a speaker from scratch? What are the steps I have to take?
We had to create it.
We had to create it. And so creating it in the right way, because everyone suddenly is an expert on everything. And people can tell who really are the experts and who are a fake expert, so to speak, because it doesn't feel authentic.
And there's so much content, and I think the only way to cut through the fluff is to actually create something that's really intentional, that there's an audience for, but again, the storytelling, that's what connects the audience, and that's what I see is missing from so much content.
Yeah, 100%. And I can inject this too. Here's where AI can help us find out what is being demanded. What are people exactly searching for? And so as a content creator yourself, creating resources for this audience, those tools can help phrase the question in a way to help them find exactly what they need. And then if you're developing an authentic story, it's done in a way that's searchable, visible, and of course gives the audience what they're looking for.
And I think so many people just miss this, myself included. I mean, we were on the content creation hamster wheel. I gotta do that reel. I gotta do that TikTok. But we're doing so much of it, but it doesn't have any depth. It does, it's here today, gone tomorrow. I always say YouTube is like buying a house and social media is like renting it. You have sticky power and permanence with YouTube, whereas social media is here today, gone tomorrow. It's in your feed 24 to 48 hours. And TikTok, 2 months ago, it's not even there anymore.
Right. And I could speak a little bit to that. What you also are seeing is, I guess you could say, a division of audiences.
Hmm.
So if you're the type of person that you want to be entertained, okay, if you jump on social media and entertain yourself that way, you don't necessarily go to social media to learn something. Whereas,
Completely different platform.
exactly. So if you're learning something on, you go to YouTube, you type in, how do I change the oil in my car? How do I do this? And yeah, the videos are a little bit longer, but deliberately so because it can be an educational tool. And so that's something, promoting with story, you can use that tool in a way that to not only connect with the learning audience, but retain the right audience rather than just going after views or followers in like you would do in the social media world.
It's so true because most of the influencers that I've met are broke. I mean, seriously, they are broke. It is so hard to make lightning strike twice. And just for that quick hit. And just talking to some of our advertisers, they're moving away from influencers because there's so much distraction out there. They can't really hold the attention anymore.
Can I share one more thing I just read recently? I mean, everybody is watching in real time. Hollywood
Mhm.
downhill and movie making is not what it was, or I should say it's evolving. And one of the things that many A-lister actors and actresses are transitioning to is brand storytelling, being representatives of brands. And that's all going to be vertical video, some of it on YouTube. So I I think audiences in general are going to be very accustomed to storytelling, brand storytelling through these channels.
And then branding is so important. And I think a lot of people think it's a pretty color palette or a logo, and it's so much more than that. It's perception. It's not what you're putting out there, but the way you're perceived. And I think so many people miss that.
Yeah, 100%. All of the big brands maybe that we go and buy from, whether it's clothing, shoes, or whatever it may be, um, people are vested in that. Why? Because of the story. And usually people stick with brands and have a brand loyalty if that's done well enough. There's an emotional connection rather than just, I need this.
I couldn't agree more. And I think, well, here's what I love about YouTube. It's long form video. I don't know about you guys. Actually, I do know about you guys. You guys are on that hamster wheel every day trying to churn out content. And my first question is, what am I going to do today? What am I going to talk about? Long form, one day, one video can be cut up into so many pieces for all your social media. So you've got your attention platforms, but then you have your intentional and your interest media. And one of the beautiful things about YouTube is, hey, it's a media platform.
Right.
but it's a searchable media platform. And I think most people can't afford $10,000 a month for SEO. It is the best way for new brands to get their message out there and to get seen.
100%. And I could tell you a couple things that I heard from that comment. So not only is it the tool to use to be visible and to find stuff, um, what you mentioned earlier about shooting one long form video, if it's done right from an AV background, you could plan multiple episodes in one shoot day to save some money. So cameras, lights, and higher quality production, rather than shoot one episode, shoot 6 to 8 episodes in one day. And you've just filled 2 months worth of social media calendars or episode content. And that's the way really to build your brand in a consistent way and not break the bank.
Well, and I love that too, because again, we can cut that out with the help of AI. It can go everywhere. And it's a lot less work, but it's a lot more effective. But more importantly, you are actually reaching your target demographic. And that is, I think, where most of social media platforms just fail. It's a quick hit, a little dopamine, a little serotonin, and it's gone.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. It's as a storyteller, that type of background, you want your stories to have maybe be evergreen if they're that good, but it's something that will last more than the first day or two on social media.
Absolutely. I love it when we go behind the scenes because we talk about this all the time. And you guys are in our inner circle today as we discuss this because we want to really bring this not only to you, but to our customers.
Absolutely. So all the speakers, the entrepreneurs, the coaches, the event planners that need resources, they're all asking these same questions. How do I create content that people want to watch? What kind of content do I need to create so people will come to me as opposed to someone else? And then what do I have to do on the YouTube channel to dial it in from an SEO's perspective so it actually can be seen? And those are all resources that you've had to create, put on the channel so people can learn those basics if they want to grow their brand.
This is such an exciting time for me because think about this. Just one long form content video can go everywhere. Online, on air, everywhere. I mean, it's your YouTube video, it's your shorts, it's your TikTok, it's your Instagram reels. It can be LinkedIn. I use it for my magazine articles, blog posts, everywhere. But think about that. Instead of having to plan something, be intentional with each segment of that video, and then boom, it's amazing.
100%. In the old days, the term that was used is omnichannel. So
Yes.
the audience you're speaking to may be here, or they may be over here, or they may be, on social media. Why create 3 different shows for those channels? To your point, um, the thinking goes into one piece that can be repurposed for all of those channels. And that's another tactic that can be used for somebody trying to grow their brand.
Well, and it's cost effective because let's face it, video production can be expensive, especially if you're running and gunning it. You really have to have a strategy. And this is where I see so many podcaster companies fall short. There isn't a strategy. They film it, they edit it, they put it out there, but there isn't a strategy. And that's why I'm glad we're doing things differently.
Me too. Me too. And even the word strategy, what is strategy? So you talk to a digital marketer, they'll say, here's our strategy. We want you to dump money in and pay for this to grow. Or, another strategist may say, let's focus on your content and storytelling and connect that to the right audience. And then others will say, well, how does this change over time? When we talk about strategy in storytelling, that's what we're talking about, is not just throwing whatever content and hoping something sticks, but being methodical about what do people need? How do I tell the stories that need to get told to benefit a new brand and then, of course, grow on a YouTube channel?
Well, and what I really love about this, it's all condensed before the camera ever starts rolling. The strategy is planned, we know what we have to do, and boom, it goes everywhere, but it's not a waste of time or money. It's really efficient, but it's landing where it needs to.
Yeah, 100%. And so many good tools nowadays that can assist with that. It's not like the old days where you had writers
I remember the old days.
and tried to come up with ideas, but the tools available can help any new brand grow and compete pretty quickly.
I love this, Jason. You're going to come back for another behind the scenes, right?
Yes, we will. Well, we hope to tell many more, stories that can help grow people's YouTube channels. Technology changes, but storytelling doesn't. Good storytelling will resonate, and that's part of a brand. It should be part of a brand.
It absolutely needs to be. This has been Leah Woodford, and if you are new to the channel, Speaker Life, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button. We're the #1 platform for speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs, and most recently, event planners. So make sure you subscribe. We'll see you next time.